choice but to defend himself. So he pulls out his and starts letting them things go. He hits himself too. Police rush to the scene. They say, yo, what happened? Chud tells them everything that I just told you. And he's filming everything that he's saying too. That's important because you see, Chud thinks he's slick, but he's not as smart as he thinks he is. And here's where things start to get wicked. They arrest Chud. They said, whoa, you let them things go, Chud. We got to put you in custody. Chud said, well, I'm an American and I was defending myself.
You what? I like you, and I want you.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping.
What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. We're gonna watch this video with Zebby. Subscribe to Zebby. About Chud the Builder. He's done. He got arrested recently for shooting somebody, shooting a black person. He is an idiot, and we're gonna see what this is talking about. I'm pretty sure I also did a video on this. Probably gonna bring up that too. Let's get started.
Basically what he does is he films himself on stream Chud. He's what you call a race baiter. Meet Chud. He's what you call a race baiter. Basically what he does is he films himself on stream walking up to people saying racist things. But see, one day he took things a little too far. Ended up being a black man outside of a courthouse and is now facing 50 years in prison. Now I know what you're thinking. Zebby, what happened?
Oh, Zebby. You're moving side to side. You really moving, Zebby. Got arrested for shooting a black man. Look at him. Look at him. He's an idiot. He's a real idiot. And that's 50 years. I'm pretty sure he has bail, but he might not be able to take that bail out.
This is America.
He might be able to take that bail out. He's done.
This is America.
Let's keep watching.
Well, we finna get to that. First things first, why was he outside of a courthouse in the first place? Well, you see, before the incident we're talking about where by the way, the guy is still alive. Before that incident, he was arrested for walking out on a $400 bill. Now, this part's important because it's gonna basically explain who Chud the Builder is. Okay, so he's sitting there at a restaurant. He's filming himself, he's streaming himself. The manager walks up and says, hey, we don't allow filming in here. Chud says, well, okay, this is America. So God bless America and all that. Manager said, okay. Yeah, this is America. That's why we don't allow filming. We have the right to. Chud starts wilding out. He starts losing it. He starts saying racist things out of nowhere to some dude just standing there. Dude catches it straight. He goes, damn. The manager says, oh no, now you really got to go. Like you really tripping. Chud starts turning up some more. He entitled. He losing it. He said, man, I want to film. I want to say racist things and I want to eat. That's what I want to do. So let me do it. He's saying this as he walking out. The manager said,
oh no. That's the problem. That's the problem with people like Chud. They want to get up. They want to get at black people. Get at black people. But they the real problems. All that privilege, all that entitlement. And you.
Oh, you forgot to pay your bill, Chud. Chud said, pay my bill? You kicking me out so I'm not paying nothing.
Ask them to leave after you finish this bill and pay.
Manager said, all right, let me just call the police. They're going to meet you outside real quick. Chud said, well, this is America, so I'm leaving. Chud leaves. The police say, put your hands behind your back. Chud said, huh? They said, yeah, you walked out on your bill, right? He said, yeah, but they technically kicked me out. I got everything on camera. They said, did you eat the food? He said, but yeah. They said, okay, but put your hands behind your back. And the worst part about all this for Chud is he actually does film everything thinking he's in the right. Meanwhile, whole time he's
Chud, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. You feel me?
I like you, and I want you.
All this, that, and the third. You got it on camera. You think you in the right, but you're wrong. Stupid. All racist people are stupid. It's funny, real funny. Cause now, gonna be in jail. Gonna get your butt taken by a big black man. Get your butt taken. And I heard you used to have a ex male that was black. I heard, and you that thought in your head, right?
Just making himself guilty. Now, him filming everything is going to be relevant later, but during this whole restaurant thing, the manager was actually mad polite. He's like, yo, man, we just don't allow filming. Chud was the one wilding out. So for Judge Seats, it's probably going to be the easiest case of that judge's life. In fact, like I said earlier, Chud already went to court for this. The judge probably looked at the facts of the case. He said, wow, this is the easiest case of my life. Now, technically, Chud was just charged for this. He's going to have to go in and out of court, but he's probably going to be found guilty for this pretty easily. Now, Chud walking out of the courthouse. Somebody, according to Chud, is laughing at him. So Chud, now this is according to Chud, all right, that's very important, walks over to the people laughing at him and he says, y'all like my new suit? And he walks away. All right, he then says the people he walked away from start following him. The guy then says, hey, look, man, I'm a veteran and I have PTSD, and starts attacking Chud. Chud has no choice but to defend himself, so he pulls out his and starts letting them things go. He hits.
Likely story. Like we are not believing that. You capping. I bet he didn't even get that on camera either. You don't even gotta look at evidence. It's so unbelievable. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be found guilty.
He hits himself too. Police rush to the scene. They say, yo, what happened? Chud tells them everything that I just told you. And he's filming everything that he's saying too. That's important because you see, Chud thinks he's slick, but he's not as smart as he thinks he is. And here's where things start to get wicked. They arrest Chud. They said, whoa, you let them things go, Chud. We got to put you in custody. Chud said, well, I'm an American and I was defending myself.
In that orange now. He looks so mad too. Looks so mad. In that orange, my bad. Got him.
Myself, right? They said, well, Chud, why don't you go talk to your lawyer and you explain to him what you explained to us? Chud goes over to his lawyer. He said, look, I told him the story about. Lawyer probably said, shut up, Chud. You stupid. Because the thing is, now Chud's lawyer has to go based off what Chud said himself on camera to police. And Chud don't know the law. You see, here are two simple rules to self-defense. First things first, you gotta put out an equal amount of force somebody is pushing on you. So like, if somebody slaps you, you can't just pull out your thing and two, you can't be the antagonizer. That's when a lot of people mess up. So if you walk over to somebody and push them, if they hit you and you pull out your thing and you going to jail. Now, I'm not saying these two things happen in Chud's situation, but I'm trying to explain to you how difficult Chud's situation is actually gonna be. And you'll see what I mean in a second. You see, Chud clearly doesn't understand these rules. You could see it all over his live stream. He walks over to people antagonizing them, calling them the N-word, saying, hey, I can say whatever I want. In one instance, a guy knocks over Chud's hat, the hat that he always wears. Chud rushes over to the dude and says, put your hands on me again. And remember, he's filming all this. Chud loves to film himself doing things. Now, you see, Chud is the aggressor in this situation. So whatever argument of self-defense immediately goes out the window. Chud doesn't understand this. So Chud brings out his mace and he starts spraying the dude, saying, I'm defending myself. So Chud's lawyer is probably losing his mind right now in court because what does the prosecutor have?
That looks terrible. Got a V-neck. Looks like he's in court. I wish he had some orange on, but hey, man.
To say based off of Chud's story.
As long as he
Prosecutor
goes to
can be like,
jail,
well, can we really believe what
win.
Chud said? The guy Chud was black. We've seen all of Chud's content. Here's an example of all of Chud's content. Here's an example of Chud spraying mace on a black man. We should probably give him jail time for that, but you know what? I digress. Chud is always the aggressor in all of his videos, so can we really believe Chud walked over to a black person laughing at him and just said, "You like my suit?" and walked away? That doesn't sound like the Chud we've seen in all of his video content. And remember, Chud, you said out your own mouth, you walked over to the dude. Chud's lawyer probably gonna be like, well, that's what we saying happened. So we saying Chud walked over. He said, "You like my suit?" and he walked away. So prosecutor gonna be like, why would somebody walk over to you, Chud, and say, "I'm a veteran and I have PTSD," as a response to "you like my suit"? That don't sound like a typical response.
Right.
Did you say something else to him? He'd be like, he gonna probably sit there stuttering. And remember, the dude that Chud is gonna have his own story. So it just depends on who a jury is gonna believe. We're not even at the part with an equal amount of force distributed. The dude didn't have but that's where things start to get a little tricky, because Chud can say, "Hey, look, the dude was really throwing hands on me. I had no choice but to pull my thing out." So now they're gonna look at Chud and be like, okay, well, how big is Chud? How big was the other dude? And that's when other little factors come to play. And all of that then starts to be up to a jury to decide, could Chud have probably defended himself? Could he not have? Now, they charged Chud with attempted and discharging a firearm and a few other charges. He's probably going to get locked up for a few charges, but probably not the attempted, because that might be hard to prove. How the prosecutor is going to try to prove that is say, look, we've seen from his content that he's a racist. Him, the dude, is probably a race thing. He probably just wanted to get away with it. That's going to be a tough one to prove. But the thing about prosecutors is they love to throw in a Hail Mary charge. If they get it, okay, cool. They got him for 50 years. If they don't get it, then they have all the other charges that they really, really wanted him for. Anyway, probably going to amount to a couple years. The judge at that point had heard enough. He said, okay, Chud, your bail is set to $1.25 million. And you
1.52 billion. Chud. I know you was on that $400 bond last time. You could have definitely paid that one off. You ain't paying that. You ain't paying that much though. You were not paying that milli. You were definitely not getting that milli. You done for. You the boy who cried wolf. That's exactly what you are. You gonna cry this and that. The black people did this. The black people did that. Nobody gonna believe, because you always going after black people. That's you. That's your bag. Want to stand on it? Want to stand in that fire? That's you. That's you. That's your ass. Your ass. Continue.
gotta see Chud's reaction when he says this.
1.25 million.
Like, ooh, you know that number hit.
This boy closing his eyes. Oh, he closing his eyes. Oh, he said, oh, Chud, I can't even feel bad for you. Cause that's you. That's your bag. That's your bag. You can't pay it, but that's.
Side note, look how bro looking at him. I think that's hilarious. But I digress. The judge setting the bail that high for Chud is basically a message to Chud and the world. It's basically saying you thinking that you can do all these crimes saying it's America, it's a free country. But, I mean, there's laws here. So the judge is clearly trying to show Chud that this ain't finna just be an easy case. You can't just walk up in my courtroom and say this is America. But we'll wait and see what happens in this actual trial, which I'm probably not going to cover because I tire of this man.
Thank you, Zevi, for the good video. I see the braces. The braces.
But I digress.
To be honest, I need some braces. But that was a good video. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try to get this out tomorrow. I hope you like the video before this, video after this, so on and so forth. Chud the Builder, your ass. Booty Warrior is coming for you in the showers. You're done. Bye, guys.